Have you ever received a card where the envelope was written so beautifully that you didn't want to throw it away? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways to hand letter and design an envelope for a card that your recipient will love the way their name looks and actually want to frame it. Believe me, it happens a lot. What's up, explorers? Eva Taylor here, your tour guide through the land of lettering, where we explore all the possibilities with hand lettering and modern calligraphy. If you're new here, consider subscribing because I share all the hand lettering and modern calligraphy tips, tricks, and tutorials just like this. So pack your bags, explorers, because we are getting ready to hand letter 5 different envelope designs. Let's get started. Oh wait, one more thing. Make sure you stick around until the end because I'm going to share with you 3 bonus tricks to enhance your lettering even more. The hand lettering and calligraphy tools I will link in the description below, but basically just any old pencil, some Micron pens, Fineliner pens in 0305, a Crayola Supertip marker in black, a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen in black, and then a Tombow dual brush pen in black. So what I'm going to do first is show you 5 different designs, but I'm going to sketch them in pencil first, and then I'll go back and show you all 5 designs as I ink them in pen or with marker. So this first design is actually just a classic centered modern calligraphy script. So right now I'm actually just sketching out the name Marianne. It's actually my sister's name and her birthday's coming up soon. I don't know about you, but our summers are filled with events and birthdays, weddings, and it's the perfect time to learn how to hand letter an envelope beautifully to give to your recipients. Now this second design, I'm going to show you how to fill the whole entire space of an envelope. I'm writing the name Stella, and this name is perfect for filling because it's not too long of a name, and all of those ascenders like the T and the L, how they go all the way up and all the way down, I love to make the letters go way above and way below to really fill the space of the envelope. And in this third design, I'm going to show you how to angle your lettering. It's perfect when you are using like a Mr. or Mrs. and then the last name, but you could also use just a full name and fill the space as well. The fourth envelope design is a little bit more playful. My daughter always asks me if I can please do a tutorial on how to do bubble letters. Bubble letters are so fun. I love to use these for kids' birthday cards because they usually can't read script or cursive handwriting yet, and so the bubble letters are super fun. So if you don't know how to do bubble letters, my tip is to write the letter first in regular handwriting and then go around it in the bubbles, just outline it in the bubble shape, and then you'll get your bubble letters. But I'm just going to go ahead and draw it all just freehand because I've been doing this for a while. And then what I'm going to do is add in a 3D effect. I love having it kind of pop out. It adds more dimension and it ends up looking really fun. Now to get the 3D effect, what you want to do is determine where your light source is. In this instance, my light source is in the top or upper left corner. So everything is going to be to the right and to the bottom of each letter where I add the shadow. And the 5th design is more masculine. Not always do I do script letters and stuff for a male because I want it to look more masculine. So in this case, I'm going to do more of hand lettering, and I'm going to show you kind of how I do that here. I want to make sure that all of my letters have the same width, and those bars that I made, that those are all the same width too. And I am making the fat widths where my downstrokes would be if I were to be doing modern calligraphy. And then I'm going to go in and add some serif designs and some embellishments to the letters to make it more appealing. Now this little accent is a serif design. You can also do a straight bar across. That's considered a serif. Anything that kind of tops the bottom of a letter or the top of a letter like that is a serif. Now I'm just going to enhance this drawing just a little bit more by adding these lines. Okay, so now it's time to go over all of these 5 designs in pen and marker. This one here, I'm just using the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, and I'm going to show you how to letter that, but then also, if you don't have a brush pen, how you can use faux calligraphy with a monoline pen, like a Fineliner, like a Micron pen, to make it look like calligraphy. So basically what you do is on your downstrokes, you just fatten them up with the Micron to make it look as if you used a brush pen. So make sure that you only fatten the downstrokes, not the upstrokes, and be careful when you are going toward where you would bring your pen upward, because you don't want that loop at the bottom to be fat at the point of the loop. You want to kind of thin out your line before you get to that dipping point. So I'm just going to keep on going around and using my Micron pen to kind of perfect any areas of my line work that maybe got a little shaky and just make it a little bit more crisp. That's what I love the Microns for. So for the second design where we filled the whole page with the name, I'm going to use the Crayola Supertip. It's great because you can do modern calligraphy, also known as Crayoligraphy, with Crayola markers because they do have that fat side. So if you, on the downstroke, kind of use the side of the marker, you can achieve that thick downstroke look. And then on the upstroke, use the very tip of the marker to get that thin stroke. So just watch as I kind of go up and down with the Crayola marker to achieve the look of calligraphy. And because I was going up and off the card, I actually put a piece of paper underneath just so that I can continue up and down off the actual envelope to achieve the look that you see here. Now for the third design where it's angled, I'm going to use the Tombow dual brush pen using the brush side. On any envelope that I want to fill most of the space, I like to use a tip that is going to give me like a fatter width. And so the Tombow Fudenosuke is much thinner and the Tombow dual brush pens give you that thickness. And so I'm just going to letter all of that and just notice how I kind of put pressure down on the downstroke to get that fatness. And then on the upstroke, I'm going very lightly using the tip of the brush pen to get the thin lines. And what's great about the dual brush pens is the other side that's more of like a marker. It is more fine tipped. It's not as fine as a Micron, but you can go back in and, like I do with Microns, and perfect some of your lines where maybe your hand got a little shaky on the upstrokes and just make them a little bit more crisp. And then don't forget to erase all of your pencil marks once you're done. Now for the fourth design, which is more playful with the bubble letters, I'm going to use the Tombow dual brush pen using the marker side. You really can use any marker for this, but I am going to end up using the brush pen part too to use as a coloring tool. I do not recommend going back and forth with your brush pen though to color. I always use like a downstroke, and then I lift up. I don't go back and forth. Otherwise, you're going to wear out your brush pen. But I do love how easy it is to color with the brush pen of these markers. And so I'm just going to kind of show you how I'm drawing in the shadow, the 3D effect, and then I'm going to fill that in with the brush pen. But if you want to use Crayola markers for this, you can, or any other kind of markers that you have. Prismacolor markers are really great too. I do have those and use those a lot. And then just make sure you go in and erase everything so that way it's not showing through when you fill in with your marker. But here is how I use the brush tip to add that 3D effect and color that in. Since we're not doing any type of brush lettering or calligraphy with this design, you could easily use the Micron pens to do this design. The only reason I chose to use the Tombow dual brush pen is because the Microns are not very thick, and so you'd spend a lot of time trying to color it all in. Now for the fifth design, the more masculine one, I am going to use the Micron pens as well as the Tombow dual brush pen. What I'm doing here is on the left hand side of all of the lines, I'm using the marker tip of the dual brush pen. I'm not using the Micron because I still wanted it to be a little bit thicker. And then on all of the right sides of the lines, I want to make a shadow effect. So I'm using the brush pen side of the dual brush pen. And then I'm going to go back to the marker side of the dual brush pen to do the serif designs on all of the letters. And then I'll also use the marker tip to kind of bring any of the lines down to be more in a straight line. And then I'll just continue to finish off this piece. And then once I get to the accent lines, I'm going to switch to a Micron pen that's going to give me some more fine line detail work that I could do. I think these lines and then the little circles in the middle like that just kind of add more pop to the lettering and just enhances the overall piece and makes it a little bit more masculine and not so plain. So there you have it, 5 different envelope designs that you can start using today. But stay tuned because I've got some bonus tips for you. Bonus tip number 1. My favorite way to enhance lettering is to add accent lines. You can either do them all just in a straight line, or you can add these cute little dots in between lines. I love to do this because I just think it adds so much character to it. And just make sure that you choose a side of the letters that you're going to do the accent lines. Don't do it on both sides of your lines. Just do it on one side. I usually choose the left side because I like to use the right side to do the drop shadowing, which I will show you in the next bonus tip. But it's just a really quick and easy way to make it look beautiful. See? Bonus tip number 2, adding a drop shadow. I love to use a shade of marker that is a little bit lighter than the marker I used, or darker. But since you can't go any darker than black, I'm using gray here. But say I was doing this in pink for Stella. I would then use a drop shadow of like red or a purple. I would want to stay in the kind of same color family and keep it a monochromatic look. Now, just like the tip number 1, where I said your accent line should always be on the same side, you want to make sure that your drop shadow is also on the same side. So if I'm doing it on the right side, keep it all on the right side. And you can go in and just perfect anywhere that needs it. Bonus tip number 3. Using line art to add dimension is one of my most favorite things to do, especially with the bubble letters. I am using the Tombow dual brush pen because both sides have different widths, and just kind of adding some dimension here and going around the lettering and filling in the whole entire envelope space. The line art design I'm doing here is really basic. Really, any beginner can do this, just outlining your letters and doing it over and over again. But other forms of line art are drawing basically anything. You can do geometric designs, you can do floral designs, basically anything. You can do little circles and bubbles and all sorts of different shapes. Really, line art is just any kind of doodle with a pen or a marker. So just be creative and fill in the envelope with whatever your heart desires. And for this tutorial, I basically wanted to keep it simple and just stuck with black, but you certainly can use all sorts of different colors and just be creative. And that's pretty much it for the 5 designs. If you liked this tutorial, I would love if you would like, comment, and share. And be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future tips, tricks, and tutorials here at the Land of Lettering. But now it's time for the question of the day. Which design was your favorite, and which one do you think that you will try first on your next envelope? Let me know in the comments below. Well, explorers, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video, and if you try any of these designs, use the hashtag Land of Lettering to get featured on this channel, and follow me on social too. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Oh, don't leave yet. It's time for bloopers, right? And be sure to subscribe below and turn on... Oh my gosh, the siren. The siren goes off at 11 every Friday. And, oh shoot, what was I gonna say? 3 little bonus tips